Hi, Room 21 Rockstar families, and welcome to our weekly VODCAST on this Super Bowl Sunday. Hopefully we'll have a full week. Hopefully the weather decides to cooperate for us. But nonetheless, I have a bunch of announcements for you and a ton of really exciting things coming up in Room 21. So to start off, I just want to congratulate Nathan Phillips, who was named this week's Rockstar of the Week. He displayed some incredible effective effort and focus this week during math class, and for that I gave him the Rockstar of the Week because it was quite incredible. A couple of other announcements that I just want to send across to you. The first one is the fact that your child may have shared with you, the Academy teachers are blitzing one of the scholars' bedrooms. One scholar in 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or 5th grade is going to have their bedroom blitzed by the Academy teachers at some point in the coming weeks. Now, in order for that to happen, if your scholar is able to, we have this application. Now, this went home. If you need another one, just tell your scholar I have extra ones in the classroom, and they just have to do a couple of things. They have to tell us why their bedroom needs blitzed. They need to explain how they will use their newly designed room to become the best scholar that they can be, and they need to have a theme and a favorite color. So on the back of the application is actually a letter that they write to us, and you also have to sign off as the parent or guardian to ensure that we're able to come in and blitz their bedroom. We will communicate with you before it happens, and the scholar will find out if they are the winner when they go in to their newly blitzed bedroom. So we hope that this is just a way for the Academy teachers to give back, since we are really focused on service with the Academy in every way, shape, and form. We are as teachers as well. So that is due this Thursday, February 6th, the Bedroom Blitz application, if your scholar is interested. I've been excited to see the letters that have come in so far. It's going to be so hard for the Academy teachers to choose one student. A couple of other announcements. The Academy students will actually be conducting a Valentine's Day fundraiser so that we can raise some money to go on some more, service trips this year. And this form will actually be coming home tomorrow. So basically, every Valentine that the student wants to send to another teacher or student in the school is 25 cents each. And they can either choose to have it say, "Your Dynamite," "Your Sweet Valentine," or "Happy Valentine's Day." And this order form is going home to every student in the school, but the Academy scholars are actually going to be making advertisements for the WTGR News this week, and also manning a table out in the front hallway of the school to collect all of these forms and money. All Valentines will be delivered on February 14th if your scholar orders any. So they're 25 cents each. This paper is in your scholar's mailbox as we speak, and it will be coming home tomorrow, Monday, February 3rd. A couple of other announcements. I've said for a very long time, and I just didn't want to overwhelm you with so many forms and whatnot. The Literacy Explosion form will be coming home tomorrow. It looks a little something like this. It's being held on Saturday, March 15th at Mountain View High School. It starts about 8:30 in the morning, and it's done by about lunchtime. The scholars will be creating either, and it says on the back of this form, which will also be sent home tomorrow, a book cover, a book trailer, a photo essay, a blog, a podcast, or scene, a movie trailer. And they'll be able to present it there. There are awards. The students get recognized on a statewide level because students from all across the state in Virginia will be attending the Literacy Explosion, which is on March 15th. So this form is just so that I know how many I have to register with the Virginia Association of Teachers of English. So if you could just fill this out and tell me if your child is able to make it. If transportation is an issue, we can probably work that out. I'm willing to meet at the school, and we can caravan over, something like that. But this is an amazing opportunity. I took my 3rd graders to it last year. It was amazing. So I hope that everyone is able to attend, and it's on March 15th. All of the work for this will be done in the classroom, and then based on a book that the students are reading and guided reading, and then we'll be able to attend on March 15th. It will be another great way to practice those Barrett Academy manners that we've been practicing all along. Couple more announcements. I know there are a ton. Monday, February 17th is a school day now. It is President's Day, but because of all the snow days that we've missed, it is President's Day. And finally, report cards will be coming out on February 11th, next week. Okay. Now I'm going to send you over to the strategy session. Before I do that, though, I have to tell you, and I just want to kind of build up that anticipation for the scholars. Tomorrow we have a very exciting day planned. I'm not going to say what it is yet, but I just hope that the scholars are extremely excited because I know that I am. So I'm going to send you over to the strategy session. Try those out. See if they work. And let me know. Do they work? Too much? Too little? So I'll see you on the other end. Okay, Room 21 Rockstar family, so the first thing that I actually want to give you today is just a little bit more practice with adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing decimals, and adding and subtracting fractions. If your Rockstar feels comfortable with all of these computations with decimals and fractions, then they can skip over this part and move on to the new content that we'll be learning this week. But I thought that I would put a little bit more practice on here in case they would want it. So, the first 4 problems deal with adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing decimals. Each of these problems will be worth 1/2 of a house point if they are turned in this week. Now you can pause the screen and then I'm going to actually scroll down to the adding and subtracting fractions. One of the major things, and I'm actually going to highlight this so you can see it, guys, is a problem such as this. Now I did not put this problem into a word problem format, but a few of us have been really struggling with subtracting mixed numbers. So this is 4 1/2 and 3 8 sevenths. Actually, let's change that one to 7 eighths, guys, right here. That's my bad. And really having to regroup. So if you need a little bit more assistance with that, make sure you let me know when you get to school this week, guys. But other than that, this is just some practice that the Rockstars can engage in if they would like to. Now, I'm going to turn us over to the internet. And here you'll find our Kate Waller-Barrett web page, our Class Fusion page, Room 21 Rockstars. Now, if we actually come down, a couple of things that you'll find on here. Number one would be information about the bedroom blitz. If you still want information about that, I was talking about that in the intro to the video today. If you still haven't completed the Barrett Academy questionnaire, here is a link to that. And here is also a link to the Barrett Academy blog. I'll take you there real quick so you can look at it. Like I said, we've really been trying to update it recently. We've been able to upload a lot of different pictures and things like that. So make sure you visit that to see what we've been up to with Barrett Academy. Now I'm going to go back. And now I'm going to actually take you to a math strategy for this week. So if you come the whole way down here to class news under measuring angles, this week we really transition into geometry. And one of the major components that is new to 5th grade that we'll be learning is actually using a protractor to measure angles. Now, if you look at this right here, this blue device is called a protractor. It was on the school supply list at the beginning of the year, and I'm hoping that a lot of the Rockstars are able to bring a protractor of their own that they'll be able to use to measure angles. If they cannot, I do have a few in the classroom that we'll be able to use. Now, the way that we use this is, first of all, if you check this out, what I'm highlighting right now is the angle, okay? This in yellow here. Now, this blue device is the protractor, okay? And if you look here, it starts at 0 and it goes all the way up to 180 degrees. Or it starts at 180 and goes to 0 here. One of the keys that we'll be talking about this week in class is the idea that we have to start measuring with our protractor at 0. So if you look here, I can either look at 0 or I can look at 180. And what you do is you start at 0 and you travel the whole way up around the protractor. Watch as I move the highlight. The whole way to where that angle stops, where that ray stops, okay? And what I have to do is I have to make sure that I'm reading the right set of numbers, because either this could be 60 degrees or this could be 120 degrees. So I look at where that line goes, and I notice 0, so I want to follow these outside numbers, 0, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120. So this angle measure is actually 120 degrees. Now, this is a great site just because the Rockstars can go on here. They can get problems that the computer will give them, and if they get them wrong, it'll let them know how they can fix their work. So here's another example of one. So here's our protractor laid out. Notice how the protractor, that circle is put right at the point, at the vertice of that angle, and that line lines directly up with 0, and you're measuring that angle. Remember to start at 0 and go outward. So try a couple of these at home this week. This is going to be one of the major focuses of class this week in math, is actually angle measure. So check that out. And now we're going to go back to the Kate Waller-Barrett webpage. A couple of other quick sites, guys, that I just want to show you really quickly would be this cause and effect site. This week, we're continuing our reading focus of cause and effect. And I found this and I thought it was really, really cool. So it explains that a cause is why something happens, and effect is what happens. And you're kind of like a detective. It gives you some examples of clue words here, which I found are really important. Okay, and it gives you an example paragraph to help with that. Now, the cool thing about this is that there are interactive areas where each rock star can go to practice cause and effect, and if they want to play a game, they can click this chalkboard and match some cause and effect scenarios. You know, the rock stars and I were talking last week, and cause and effect is a reading strategy that we found to be kind of tricky, because the cause is why and the effect is what. But if you're not careful, you could mix those up, because a lot of the times they'll have cause and then effect. But a lot of times in reading, the rock stars might find effect and then cause. Okay? And what we looked at last week was the fact that cause is in the word because. So that kind of explains why. You know, you might ask your child, "Why did you draw on the wall with a crayon?" And they might say, "Well, because," and that would be the cause, okay? And the effect is the fact that they drew on the wall with a crayon. I hope that no one's doing that, but that would be one such example. In social studies this week, as you'll see under here with what we're learning in room 21 this week, we're actually going to begin talking about events that led up to the American Revolution, some famous events, and some famous people. And I thought that I would show you our song that we're going to be singing this time around. There's actually a music video to this one. This is one I have not written, but it's so cool. So I just thought I'd let that play, and you guys can check it out.
Halfway across the globe and we're standing on the ground. Screaming across the waves, you can't hear the sound. There's no fair trials, no train, no liberties, no tea. We've colonized America, we won't stand for tyranny. Okay, and it's too late to apologize. It's too late. I said it's too late to apologize. It's too late. Paid your foolish tax, read the ads, and they just won't do. We wanna make it clear we believe this much is true. All men were created with certain unalienable rights. Among these, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It's too late to apologize. It's too late. I said it's too late to apologize. It's too late. we're standing on new ground.
So guys, I just wanted to show you that that's one of our major focuses for social studies coming up is we're right around 1775 now, and the colonists are getting so angry with King George III and because of the taxes and the military that he's sending to the 13 colonies that they are on the verge of the American Revolution. So that is where we are at in history. And finally, for writing, the major focus I just want you to work on once again with writing would be the great writing challenge that I have on our website. I have a new prompt up there. Suppose you had the opportunity to travel anywhere you wanted. Write to explain where you would go and why. Now, all of the rock stars know the areas that they need some extra practice with. We're all working on specific areas to spruce up our writing and make it the best that it can be. So they don't necessarily have to do each of these items on here, but maybe they'll, if a rock star wants to write this prompt and show me how did they write a really great introduction paragraph or a hook sentence, or how did they really use transition words or descriptive vocabulary in this paper, then that will be fine, because now we're kind of getting down to the nitty-gritty and looking at the very specific details. So that's everything I have for now. Now I'm going to send you back over to Mr. Record in person, and we'll see you later. Okay, Rockstar families, I hope that those strategies were useful to you. Let me know if they worked, if they didn't work, etc. Remember that you can visit our Class Fusion page at any time for updated class news, links, tons of material for class. You can visit the Barrett Academy blog at barrettacademy.blogspot.com to follow the Academy itself and all of the amazing things that we are accomplishing and doing this year. We are so incredibly proud of the growth of the scholars. And as always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, do not hesitate to contact me, because you are the best families in Stafford County. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you later.